We go. Hi everyone, this is Carrie on Live with Prima. Tonight we're going to be making this gorgeous layout using June's special delivery kit. Now if you're interested in seeing what our monthly kit looks like and all the beautiful contents we have at an amazing deal, you're going to want to order it from livewithprima.net. So livewithprima.net is our new host site for ordering the kits. We had some issues with the livewithprima.com site. So we switched it over, so your ordering process and everything should be much easier. So not only this month did we have a beautiful kit, but we also offered a kit with add-ons. So that means extra flowers and goodies. Because a lot of people said, you know, I go through all the flowers first and I have everything else left over and I love more flowers. So we decided to add more flowers, which makes sense, right? If that's what you really love. So tonight's layout, I'm using the special delivery kit. Now I obviously had to use my kit to make this, so I'm going to do a replica of this layout the best of my ability. The flowers might just change a little bit because I don't have doubles, but you'll get the gist. So we're going to go over our background stuff first, and I'm going to take this and just kind of slide it over here, and I'm going to get out the papers that I used from the kit. So I picked out just two papers. So this one is from our botanical collection, which we came out with, you know, a little while back, and it's still a gorgeous paper collection. Can you see some of that beautiful kind of eggplant color and that lime green mixed in with that really light aqua color? And then there's a little bit of cream, and there's just sweet little images all the way around the border, like dragonflies and butterflies and all kinds of nature, I don't know what you call them, nature-y things. And then there's some cool looking gears all around. So this is really this was my background paper that I chose. It's called Missing You. So you get two of these in every kit. And then the next paper I use is actually from our Songbird collection, which is an oldie but goodie as well. But this collection was so popular when it came out. And you can see on one side you have all these bits to cut out, and you can use as little fun elements within any of your projects. Fun little things, right? Little cute little envelopes. It's called Tag It. So you also get two of these as well. So what I'm going to do is use some of the background, which is just a beautiful kind of sand and cream color design. And I still have a second sheet of this to use for the cutouts and whatever I like. Okay, so let's start with that. Before I get ahead of myself, I also want to let you know you get a 12 by 12 stencil in this kit. Now, I don't know about you, but I love this stencil. And what's really cool is that anchors and sea-themed, I don't know, icons are everywhere in home decor, and anchors especially. Like I noticed a lot of the younger girls, you know, really in love with these. So it's got some really cool elements. So what I did is I used, you know, the steering wheels from a ship as the circles on my background. So this one is called, let's see if there's a name for it. Well, it doesn't have a name, but it's 572211. And on the back of the packaging, you can see the other ones we released at the same time. There's another fun anchor one with like wood plank in there. You see that? So this was a really nice surprise in the kit. So I'm just going to take off, let's see, that piece of paper on the bottom. Just give it a little trim. Get rid of that. All right. So what I did is I kind of worked with some of these circles, and I just decided where I wanted to put them. The beauty about doing something like this with modeling paste is that you can easily remove you know, some of these guys sticking out, but you don't have to. It's not really necessary. So I'm going to grab my Art Basics modeling paste. It's an opaque matte paste, so it dries somewhat translucent. It's really easy to use. And we also have a light paste too that you can use for layouts and stuff like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and add one of my circles here. So I'm kind of picking and choosing what I want to use off this stencil. I'm going to try to get as much off of there as I can because I am going to be moving this around a little bit. And because you're going to be using things off of, you know, one stencil and onto other things, you know, you want to dry this first, then maybe put another little, you know, just another little circle next to it. But you don't want to mess it up by laying the layout back down. See now, I didn't really put a lot of modeling paste in where the part of the steering is. So those little knobs, you know, it's no big deal. I am going to go ahead though and see if I can get away with using, well, I think I better dry it. Oh, see, I just smeared it into my, that wasn't very smart. I'm going to dry it real fast. This stuff dries fast. You don't have to worry. It can take the heat. And again, this circle doesn't have to be perfect. We just want to, yeah, we just want to, it doesn't have to be completely dry, but we want to get it enough where it won't smear if we touch it with something else. So, okay, so here's like another medium size one. And I think I want to place it right here at the top. So, right about here. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of modeling paste on that as well. You don't need a lot. A little bit of this goes a long way. I'll try to get off as much as I can. All right, there we go. Looks pretty good. It's taking shape so far. Just dry it real quick. This is my handy dandy Ranger heat gun. A friend to any that have sleeping children when you're trying to scrapbook at night, right? Very, very quiet. And it's pretty effective. It works pretty good. All right, let's see. Yeah, so when you touch, you can tell, you can touch it, nothing comes off on your hand. Okay, so maybe another little one up here at the top, maybe going off the page. See where I have part of it on there? That's perfectly okay. So I'm just going to skim along the paper line and where I can see it. Let's see, and like I said, removing as much as I can, just because we have to dry in between here, right? So see how I'm just using the circles for now? It's kind of the theme of my background tonight, just the really cool circles, and we're going to play with those and make them look really cool. All right. Okay, so now, wait a minute, I just want to get a piece of paper towel and just kind of get that little smear off of there. There we go. I'll turn it upside down. So now I can add a couple more down here. Let's see. I think I like that one. Yes. So we do that. I think these are fun circles. They add a lot of texture, interest. You know, it's just kind of a pain with something like this. Usually you can just slap it on all in one shot with a 12 by 12, but I'm picking and choosing the design I want out of this, so I'm going to get what I want. And it's just part of the process, right? Just being patient and getting there eventually. Okay. And then I'll grab another one of these smaller circles. Perhaps that one will be good right there. And just smoothing that over. If you don't have like a palette knife like what I'm using, you know, an old credit card would work just fine. For something like this, you know, maybe an old Shoppers Club card that you don't really use anymore. All right, last one. So I've got about 5 altogether. I've got one here, 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 and here. And I'm causing a big shadow because I'm in the way of my own light, which happens. Yeah, you should you should probably try to clean them. If you don't, or you forget, or there's some gunk on it, it's not the end of the world. Trust me, because I've done that in classes and things like that. They don't always get washed right away, but somehow the design still works out just fine. So it's all good. And you can see how it kind of dries a little bit translucent. Like you can see it, but it's definitely not as white as it was when you first apply it. So that's kind of cool. All right. Good enough for now. Clean off my knife so I don't smear it into something else, because it's kind of how I roll during these shows. All right. Put that back on. And next, let's see. Okay, now I'm going to turn it right side up. So can you guys kind of see where I've got the circles? See those? A little half one up here, here, here. And then down here I've got this one. And I've got this one right here. I know it's difficult to see on the camera, but trust me. So I have like a nice little pattern going through here. Now what I'm going to do is apply my clear gesso. My clear gesso is basically just going to protect everything that I've got on here, including especially the paper, from all the art mediums and stuff that I'm gonna start using. Because you know, you kind of want to prevent a little bit of seepage, and if you make a mistake, you know, like you get a splatter somewhere you don't want it, believe it or not, once you put the clear gesso on, it'll probably come off. I mean, mostly a water-based art medium, not necessarily a permanent one. Okay, so I'm just kind of adding it liberally, but not too thick. You don't really need it on real thick, and this stuff dries pretty quickly. It just, the paper just soaks it right in. And I know you guys have seen Adrienne use this quite a bit on her backgrounds, because she does a lot of techniques and uses a lot of wet art mediums throughout the process of creating her beautiful work. So here we go. We're almost there. So yeah, so you know, white gesso is a great primer for like a bare canvas or a plain surface, but the clear gesso is going to protect your pattern paper, and the design is still going to come through just perfectly. So it's really a smart thing to do if you plan on adding a lot of stuff. And you know, I mean, I'm still going to get a little bit of warpage, but not too bad. Oh, how do I like the new brushes? I love these brushes. You guys are so observant. This is the 1-inch brush, and this is from Finn's new set. And you can see it comes with a handy dandy little plastic bag with a little zip top, so you can take them with you or keep them protected. And you know, I used them today for the first time, because this is the first time in a long time, not today, but a couple days ago, I've been able to use them, and I love them. And I washed them in the sink, like just kind of rinsed some water over them just to clean them off, and they cleaned off beautifully. So really, really happy with these. I think you guys are going to really love them too. You know, anything Finn makes, she really does a lot of research and tries to make sure that she comes up with the best quality stuff for you guys to use, because that's what she wants to use too. I mean, and if it's not good enough for her, it's not going to be good enough for you. So, and that's the truth. All right, I'm just going to give this a quick dry, because I see some areas that are still a little bit wet. If you guys have any more questions, you know what, I can't even see the chat anymore. Hold on a second. You want to set Janelle? Yes, I saw that. Congratulations. Yeah, definitely. If you guys, you know, we always try to put our giveaways on Facebook and Instagram, and our Prima blog, which is prima.typepad.com. And you never know. You know, it's always worth a chance to try to win something, especially before you can buy it. You know, some of this stuff is brand new to come out with, and okay, it feels pretty. It's kind of exciting stuff. So, you know, it doesn't cost you anything to try, right? It's free. All right, so that's pretty dry. All right, so on to the next step, which is like the really ultra messy step. So I've got to just move a couple things out of the way so that I don't spray everything, which is my MO. First, what I'm going to do is apply the Antique Gold Color Bloom Spray. So this is kind of a shocker kind of spray, because when it comes out, it is like gangbusters, right? It's super dark, and it's going to scare you at first. But what I'm going to do, let's see if it comes, oh, look at that. Yes. I'm going to spray it right over my circles. Now, the spray went everywhere, okay? No worries. Because I applied the gesso, the clear gesso, I can actually kind of take some of that back off. And if I really, really hate it, I can take, well, I have my water spritzer, which is from when the boys, you know, had messy hair in the morning, so I used to have to fix it. I use it now as my water spritzer. But look at that. It like comes right off. So that's what the clear gesso is going to do for you. And this is water-based ink. So, you know, if I got it in areas, look at that. I totally removed all of that. But I'm not going to worry too much about it, to be honest. It doesn't bother me, but I just wanted to kind of demonstrate to you that it could be, you know, a nightmare for you if you really didn't want all that everywhere. So I'm going to spray my water right in the sprayed areas where I have my little circles. And it kind of got a little overzealous in some spots, so I'm just going to dab some off. Okay, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this and just kind of rotate my paper and let all of that just kind of seep into the design. You see the design coming to life? So I just want to get, I know it's annoying for me to move stuff around on the screen, but I just really want to get in those grooves. And once you start adding water to it, it's actually not that dark. It's not too bad. All right, so see where I can just move that around, get some seepage. Plus when it dries a little bit lighter. So I'm just kind of rolling that around. Let's get some more of that dark brown down there. Yeah. Okay. And if it drips a little bit, you know, you may just want to leave it, or you can just kind of dab it up. Okay. Just like so. So see up here, that dark spot? That's a spot I missed with the clear gesso. So do you see that? It kind of went right through the paper. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's definitely not what you, I mean, it's not the look I was going for anyway. So I'm just going to dry this real quick. I can remove a little bit as I go. Some of the spots are a little bit dark. There we go. See, it's lightening right up. And we're getting that cool effect. We're bringing out that beautiful stenciled loveliness and pattern. Okay. I'm not going to worry about drying it all the way through too much, because I'm going to go ahead and add Empress Gold. This is another color bloom spray. Empress Gold is absolutely amazing. The sparkle and shine in this stuff has made it hands down my favorite. And you want to get that ball going. And this will also lighten up those dark spots and kind of warm it up a little bit. Okay, so now again I can go in with a little more water and let those two colors really blend. I can pick some of that up where I think it's too dark. And look how like cool that looks. Well, I think it looks cool. Maybe you don't, but but I really like it. I like what it's doing so far. It kind of looks like a hot mess right now, but trust me, I'm really happy with this. Oh yeah, if you don't know what colors to start with, that's kind of like hard because you just want to go. But sometimes using a color wheel, or you know, maybe pull some colors. What I like to do is pull colors out of my photographs if I'm going to be doing a layout, for instance, or maybe there's an inspiring embellishment like a certain pack of flowers that I really love. That could be my inspiration for color, you know, something like that. All right. Oop. I don't want my computer going to sleep on me. Not in the middle of live at Prima. There's no time for sleeping. Okay. So it's drying. It's looking pretty good. It is, my paper is still warping, even though I put the gesso on it to protect it. That's okay. That's going to happen. It's paper, right? I've pretty much saturated the crap out of it right now. So that's to be expected. All right. So my next step is going to be adding some splatters. So you want to carefully take the sprayer out of your bottle, and I like to just kind of hit it with something hard. So let's take my scissors, for instance, and I'm just going to add splatter, splatter, splatter. Okay, and that's just kind of fun. I'm going to splatter myself, and I'm going to splatter my layout. Okay, so this is all about layering and everything like that. And then that was the Empress Gold I splattered, and next I'm going to do it again with the Antique Gold. So, I know this is like, ooh, that's dark stuff right there. Hold on, I'm just getting some extra off the... So now I'm just going through, splatter, splatter, splatter. This is fun. If I tap it lightly, sometimes I get little tiny flecks, and sometimes if you tap it really hard, you're going to get big spots, right? This is the fun part. I love this stuff. Now, it looks really dark on screen, but remember when I dried this up here, it's going to lighten right up as soon as I dry it, so no worries. But I think it looks kind of cool. I really like it. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to add just a little more within that circle because it was a little too light. Right? Let me just... Okay. I'll take my finger and put it kind of in there. Yeah, Carrie, good idea. Move a little bit. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to dry it again. Sorry for the drying. Let's see, what else can I tell you about? Oh, did you guys look on the Prima blog today? Because not only did I advertise this class, but I also advertised the class for next Tuesday, which is with Fran Westmoreland. She's been on the show before. She did like an adorable little mixed media flip album using the Julie Nutting chipboard banner set. Well, now she's coming back with this adorable, really cool canvas. It's called El Bandito. I love it. She used one of the skulls from our Relics and Artifacts collection by Sandra Evertson, and she made this the coolest canvas I've ever seen, I think. And she really went to town, and you could tell she had a ton of fun with it. But I think there's a lot of techniques and things too within that are going to be within the class with coloring all kinds of stuff. So next Tuesday, let's see, that's June 30th at 11 a.m. Pacific time and 2 p.m. Eastern time. Gosh, my mother's trying to text me during the show. She's so funny. She has an iPad now and internet, and there's no stopping her. She is having a ball. Okay, so now we've got this going on, right? Next I want to take, let's see if I can find my set. I have my watercolor pencil set. And this is the spring and fall set. And in here is a really beautiful shade of the eggplant that actually matches the paper. So I'm going to pull that out. Maybe. Now if you have a hard time getting these out and you want to use all the colors, just flip the whole thing over. Okay, it's a little sticky, but I'm just going to go in and add some of that plum. Like around here, up in here. You know, these pencils are kind of meant to get a little bit wet, so I'm not too concerned. We're concerned about my my drying, because I don't think I dried it all that well. But hey, this is a show, and we've got to move on, right? So you guys are getting it, and at home you'll be able to dry and take your time with it and play. So for the sake of the show, you know, I'm just kind of moving along. So I would have dried this a lot more thoroughly had I been upstairs in my craft area and, you know, that kind of thing. Okay, so there we have it. Now I'm going to take the handy dandy Prima water brush. What's great about our water brushes is that you get a set of two, and the ends are two different sizes. So we have like a bigger size and then a smaller size for finer, you know, watercoloring and things like that. And you just give a little push to the tip, a little push on the cylinder, sorry, to get the water down into the tip. So there we go. So now I'm going to take this pencil and or this water brush, and I am just going to go around my circles, and I'm not going to be really neat. Now what's cool is that the watercolor pencil color is coming to life, but look at how I'm also blending some of those color bloom sprays right into my circles. So now it's really making it kind of a statement now. You know, I'm making circular statements on here, and it's really bringing it to life. So you can bring that circle out as much as you want or as little bit as you want. You can add more water. you know, the choice is yours. And what's cool too is that like you can dab off on this and actually remove color. So if you were saying, oh, I can't see some of that design come through, just by going over it with a little bit of water and dabbing it very lightly, you can now see some of that design come through, right? So I can go through those cogs, those wheels, and just kind of dab off a little bit of that color if I didn't want too much. So I'm going to go up here and do the same thing. Like I'm just going to be kind of messy with this and bringing it to life. So see how I can really, really emphasize that design? Pretty cool, huh? Well, I hope you guys think it's cool. I do. You know, anytime. It doesn't take much to really kind of impress myself, but you know, I do from time to time. See, and I can remove some of that color, get some of that white showing through there, just like that. Now, as I'm doing this, you know, I'm adding more liquid to this paper. Now, by now, this paper would say, you know what, I've had enough. And it would start to pill up and collapse, basically, underneath all of the saturation. And really, that gesso just kind of kept that from happening. There we go. And see, you can go through and remove a little bit of that, kind of dab around. And it's a hot mess right now, but I think it looks pretty cool. Can you guys see that? So I brought to life a little bit of extra color, a little bit of definition to these. And I've not been careful at all. This has been just something kind of fun. Now I might go down here and actually warp out that circle a little bit more and maybe remove a little bit here and there. But do you see that? And you can still see the flecks, and you can see where it's ultra wet right now. So that was really kind of a fun way to just bring out the stencils and bring out some of that color. You know, and some people might just like the paper the way it is. Heck, you know, it was really pretty. It's really pretty paper. You don't really need to do too much to it like what I'm doing now, but I'm kind of having fun. And this could be applied to like an art journal, you know, a canvas, you know, anything you like. I'm really going to dry it as well as I can without boring the heck out of you guys, like watching paint dry, right? That's not fun. Does anybody have any questions? I don't know what you guys are talking about in the chat. I'm just going to keep drawing. But if you have a question, let me know. Sorry, this is kind of it's really wet. I kind of went to town. So, even though I use this on a background for a layout, you guys can certainly do something different. Now I can also take a look at the back. Some of it did see through. That's alright. I'm not at all upset. Could have been a lot worse. Alright. Splatters are kind of cool. They just add a nice little extra touch. Alright, so I wonder if I should just lift this up just a little bit more if I can. So I'm going to adjust this so you can see more of the background all at once. I guess it's just not going to do it today. Anyway, alright, so we've got that. Now I need to also add some other kind of splatter, which is my gesso splatter, my white heavy gesso. So this is another great product from our Art Basics line by Finn. And to add another layer, because I think that this is going to really make it kind of shabby chic, I'm going to pick up just a little bit of that gesso, put it on my mat, and really get some water in there. Alright, and get it nice and watery. But this is heavy gesso, so this can really take it. Usually regular gesso is kind of watery. Depends on the company you buy it from. But this is nice and creamy. Like you can see, this doesn't pour out. This doesn't move. It's almost like a paste, just under like what you would consider a paste. All right, so now I'm going to tap it. Hopefully not get any on my camera. Okay, pick up some of that watery gesso and just splatter that baby. Okay. I'm just going to splatter in the areas where you can see some of it. So, because remember, we in the original layout, we have a lot going on in the center. So, you know, we don't need to go too crazy in certain spots because no one will see it, right? Can you guys see that? Oh, that looks so cool. See how the white just adds a little something to it? I don't know what, but I'm really digging it. All right. All right. So, oops. Camera move. Hold on. That's better. Sorry about that, you guys. All right. And once again, we're going to give it another quick dry. Watching paint dry, I know. I'm going to dab this up so I don't get it all over everything else. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I think if you did this with something that would call for like black splatters too, that would just, something that dramatic, I think would look really awesome. And to me, I was kind of going for the summery, beachy, kind of washed out look. And I think I've achieved it with this multi-layering and cool background stuff. All right. I'm almost there. Sorry, guys. I knew when I was making this, this would be kind of the not so fun part. So my apologies. But we're getting there. We are making progress. All right. So next. I'm going to take just a random background stamp. So I pulled out, like you guys probably have all kinds of background stamps, right? This one doesn't come in the special delivery kit. It was in my stash. It's from the Cigar Box Secrets line. And it's a tiny herringbone pattern. Can you see that? And the number is 575854. So I thought I'd take this. Why did I close up my gesso? I'm not done with my gesso. I thought I'd take this and make some cool like pattern with it. Like, so that's what I love about these little, you know, 2 by 3 inch stamps, acrylic stamps, is that you can just achieve like really cool patterns. So I'm going to kind of curl it up. So see where I've got all the gesso in the center? I'm just going to kind of curl it up and touch down. And I like to do kind of like a couple times without reapplying the gesso. Okay. Oops. I got some gesso on my stamp. That's not like the bottom of my stamp. Not where I wanted it. Okay. So now we're adding just one more cool effect. And you can, I'll show you a close-up of this in just a sec. But I love the texture this is giving. You want to try to just kind of, like I said, go a couple times without having to re-gesso. Now this, I would definitely like go wash my stamp right away because gesso is really hard to get out once it dries. Yes, and especially in clothing. So wear an apron unless you don't mind getting the gesso on yourself. Okay, so now I can kind of leave it, but I can go back and add more. See how it adds just an interesting texture over the top? And I just kind of touched down. So you don't see a square. You just see the center of it, and I'm just kind of did it in strips and lines. Can you guys see that? Okay. So this would be cool with like a script or, you know, any kind of squiggly pattern, something like that. Okay, you don't mind getting gesso all over? I know, some people don't like it on their hands. That's okay, I totally get it. Totally get it. Oh, Sam has arrived. She's come back from her walk, and she's gonna go lay down until I'm done. She's gonna wait for me. All right, so I'm just gonna set this aside also. All right, so next. Okay, so now I think we can start building the layout pretty much. I'm gonna just dry the stamped images again. Sorry, I keep apologizing for this, but it's kind of necessary to keep moving along. But next, let's see. I'll get out a piece of paper that I used. There's another paper in the kit from our Something Blue collection. And I just gotta find it. Oh, here it is. Oh, Sam left. So this is the paper I have in the kit as well. It's from Something Blue. And do you see all these gorgeous roses and all these pretty little leaves? That's the side I used. And this is the other side. So this one's called Reception. Reception. And these are cool for like little labels and stuff you could cut out or just use it as is. But again, I use this side. So what I did is I took just a clear block that you would stamp with. And I took two different greens. This is olivine, olivine and rock moss, chalk edgers. So I'm going to just put them right on this and use this as kind of a little art palette. And I'm going to put the two colors right there on together. And then I'm going to take that water brush again. Let's see, hopefully it's clean. It's not. Okay, it's clean now. And I'm just going to pull that color right up off my little makeshift palette. And I'm going to go in and color these green leaves. They're so pretty. And this is so quick to do, and I don't have to do it in the lines because basically what I'm going to do is just cut these leaves out and just use them as little accents within my flowers. And if you wanted to make them a little sturdier, you know, you could put the you could put a gel medium over them or the clear gesso, and that would kind of seal them up, but you don't really need to. The paper is really sturdy enough, so once you cut them out, you're done. So, oops, I lost my screen again, sorry. Let's see what's happening. So you can see that? I just color them really, really quickly. And of course you could color the rosebuds too and cut those out. Those would be equally as beautiful. But I was really after the leaves because you guys know how I love green stuff and I love leaves. Okay. So let's pretend. Gosh, I was so organized, like I'm almost too organized. So let's pretend I fast forward, dry them with my heat gun, and then cut them out. So that's just kind of a fun little technique. So I've got all these like cute little leaves that I can now use within my layout. So I don't know, just a quick, easy, fun little extra to do. Okay, I'm going to set those aside. And then the other thing I did, I have this really cool punch by Martha Stewart. It's this one here. And I think it's meant to be a holiday punch because I think people use this for like their wreaths and things like that. But to me, it kind of looked like seagrass. And so the whole thing with this kit is like summertime and the sea, and I took one of the journaling cards out of the 4x6 journaling pad, just a plain one. I don't know, is one of them in here, like let's see, something like that. Just spray it with the lime wedge color bloom spray, like this here. It's a really pretty green. Just spray the whole card, and then you can punch out these fun little doodads, and they just kind of look like, they kind of look like coral too. Can you see those? Let's see if it'll focus for me. There we go. See how they look like little piece of coral? So I kind of tucked those in as well. So I got that ready. I don't know what this punch is called, but I've seen it everywhere in all the big box stores or online, wherever they carry, you know, the punches. But I just thought this was a nifty little thing. So I've used this on Christmas cards, you know, to make little sprigs with like holly and stuff like that. And anyway, I'm babbling. Okay, got that done. Okay, so those are two things I had to get ready. And the third thing would be my flowers. So I went ahead and sprayed some flowers with the Pressed Petal Color Bloom Spray, which is like a really beautiful eggplant color. It's got some beautiful shimmer and shine in there, and it matches that eggplant color on the background like I talked about earlier. So I took, let's see if I can find the pack of flowers. Okay, so the kit comes with this pack of flowers, which they're really deeply colored, absolutely gorgeous. Now there were a couple white ones, some lighter teal ones in here, and that's what I sprayed. Now you can get away with spraying something like this dark on like an orange, as long as this color you're spraying is darker than what's on here. So like this dark black flower, it might have a sheen on it, but it may not look quite eggplant. But you could even color this blue, this lighter blue, and the oranges. So that's what I did. And actually they come out maybe in various shades and tones, but you get the gist. And so that eggplant I really wanted to pull out of the paper and use that in my layout. So that was just another fun little thing I did. These are actually still kind of wet, but that's all right. We're going to pretend they're not, because I'm not getting my heat gun out if I don't have to again. Okay, so now with all that babbling going on, I wanted to show you those things because now I'd really like to start building this baby. So again, let's take a couple of cards from this poor little pad that I've ripped apart. This 6x4 ATC pad, it's from the Seashore collection, is in your kit as well. And let's see if I can find the ones that I used. Let's see, look at their seahorses. There's fun little phrases. Like these are just pretty adorable. Not in that pile. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to pull out this aqua. See, I just ripped it apart. I'm going to pull out an aqua one. And let's see what else there is. Because I'm missing one. Let's see. All right, so there. See, this is what I do. I rip things apart because I'm not really sure when I'm creating something what I'm going to end up using. Okay, so back to this one. Oh, gosh. I'm not very good at this. The beach is good for the soul. Remember when Mama Tiff used this on her show? And she actually cut out the words and used them on that really beautiful seaside frame. Yes. Well, I actually am using it just because I like the effect around the edges. So even though it has words on it, doesn't mean that I necessarily have to use it for that. So I'm actually going to use my Vintage Photo Distress ink. And I'm going to just kind of distress all the edges, kind of get them all muckied up, right? So I just like the inked edge look on certain things, and I think when you're working on a layout like this where the background has a lot going on, sometimes if you go to use things on it and they're too clean and neat looking, like it just doesn't look like it's it doesn't look like it's in place, right? So sometimes it's necessary to take these extra things that we're using and just kind of match them up with that distress kind of look. All right, so that's that. I can also take my distress tool, and I know I'm pushing these out of the way because I need to get to my cutting mat, and I might just take that little file and just expose a little bit of that white core, just a little bit. It's still inked up, but I just wanted to show a little bit of that raggedness through. You know, you could definitely go crazy on this, but that's what I did. All right. Okay. Good, good, good. All right. Now remember that other piece of paper I told you, the songbird paper? This is also what I used. You can remember this one. And I'm going to do kind of the same thing. I'm going to ink the edge. All right. I cut this at 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. I want it just a little bit bigger than a standard 4x6 card, or I mean photograph. Sorry, I'm all tired. And I'm going to do kind of the same thing. So I've inked it, and I'm just going to stress it a little bit with that file. The harder you press down, you know, the more sanded the edges are going to look. But see, I like that. It looks like an old worn card now. All right, so now I can start putting these pieces of paper together somehow in my background. And I like to kind of layer it. See, now my original layout, I think I was more over to the left. But that's okay. I don't care. So now I'm going to flip it around until I get that teal that comes out up in that corner. And you also get a 3x4 ATC pad from the Seashore collection. So in here, there's a really cool one. Oh, this one, Ride the Tide. So what I liked about it is this like kind of burnt mustardy yellow outer edge. And you just see little bits of this kind of peeking out within the layout. Okay, and again, I'm going to rip it up a little. Okay, and then literally just cut it in half. And then I can just have it kind of peeking out a little bit here, a little bit there, wherever I feel like it. You're not even going to see the words. See, but it looks like an old, kind of an old aged, oh gosh, card. So it's just adding another like layer to that whole center part, right? All right, so now the key is to get these foam dots all over everything. All right, so bear with me. I'm going to do that. And I typically like to put the foam dots right in the toward the center, because you know I like to tuck things in, right? So once my paper pieces are down, I kind of know a general area of where I can add the embellishments, like all the flowers and all the fun doodads around them. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. So peel that off. Now another reason why I like to use foam tape, and I don't really know if I've ever really thoroughly explained this on the show, but when you start adding a lot of dimensional elements like the flowers and like the thicker ribbons or the trims and things like that, what happens is that your photo tends to kind of look flat amongst all that, right? And you don't want that. You want to kind of pop everything up where the photo is going to be, so that it doesn't look totally flat against all the beautiful things you're going to add around it. You know, that's just why I do it. I feel like the photo should always take center stage. And the only way to do that is to make it really prominent in your layout and not hide it. At least for me, that's what it is. You know, if you don't want to use foam tape, don't use foam tape. You can use cardboard like Delana does. You know, she loves that stuff. And she saves all of her Prima boxes that come in. I swear that's where she gets it all. Okay, so there we go. I know, I'm sorry, I'm like in my own way here. Okay. And now these two little pieces. Now these two little pieces, I don't necessarily have to pop dot at all. I'm actually going to go ahead. I don't know if that's crooked. Come on, glue. Be my friend. I think I'm just going to tuck it in. See, now that's a perfect reason right there as to why I like to put the foam tape in the center, because I have all of that wonderful, beautiful freedom to just sort of tuck things in just like that. Okay, I'm just going to hold it up so I can take a look. Yeah, it looks pretty straight. Okay, so that's the first part of my layering. All right, done. And you can even add a little more. Like sometimes, I know I'm a freak, I like to add more glue to where the pop dots are, because I really, really, really don't want it to come off. Once I've done all this effort, right? Okay, so the next fun step is our flowers. So we're going to start clustering. And here's the funny thing. Frank sent me a kit, and he only sent me one. So I've used up some of the flowers on the first layout today. Hope that's okay. And let's see if I can just kind of adjust this a little bit. And so I'm going to kind of pretend that some of these flowers will look fantastic, even though they're not in the kit. Okay, let's see. So, like, for instance, these flowers here are in the add-on kit. So these are like a 3-piece silk flower pack, 564, 582, and it went with the Lifetime collection, I think. And I'm going to pull out 2 of those because they're really, really nice. And they're kind of silky, and they've got like little, there's a little bit of sparkle in there, and there's some crystals in the center. Let's see if I can get that to focus at all. I don't know. No, but you can see the multi-layers of fabric. So I'm going to start with these. So if you get the add-on kit, you'll have these. And I always recommend you get, you know, the one with more flowers. And I always start with my largest flower, as you guys know. And I'm just going to sort of tuck it up in, right up in here. All right, and then I'm going to grab the other one and go over here. Let's see how I like to kind of put those, push those like underneath the papers I already have. That's kind of fun, and I've allowed myself that little bit of freedom. Now, the other thing the kit comes with is it was a pack of 4 really pretty lacy, gorgeous flowers. The number is 566708. It's called Merci in Springtime. So there's a gray one left, but see, I used like a really soft aqua one, and then I used this minty green one down here. And then I thought I used 3. Maybe I used 2. Yeah, so that's normally what it comes with. That's what the kit's going to come with. So we're going to pretend that Cari has another pack of these, even though she doesn't. And I'm just going to grab these other flowers because they are all in the same color family. Like I have this really pretty one. We have some blues that have like some of the teals and the greens in it, okay? So let's just pretend Cari's using everything from the special delivery kit. I know. It's goofy. So I'm going to use this really pretty brighter green one in place of that lacy one. No worries. And I think I'll use this other green one in place of something up here because I like that green. I like that minty green. It's really cute. All right. And then, and this is a flower that actually comes in the kit. They were here. This is called the Avantis, and you can see that I've destroyed the pack somehow. And it's teal. It's 566678. Okay, and I used some of these little, really pretty little dusty teal ones in here. I mean, this is still a lot of flowers, and I didn't use them all. I tried to. I did not succeed so well. So these little guys, I like to just kind of bring in next. So I'm going to put one up here, and maybe one here, and maybe another little one like up in here. Okay, just like that. And it's coming together. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I know I'm rambling. I'm just moving along. I'm trying to go as thoroughly and quickly as possible so that, you know, it doesn't turn into a 2-hour class. Although that might not be too bad, right? Okay, and do you remember those really pretty eggplant flowers I had? Well, I kind of, like I said, I wanted to bring out that eggplant. So I'm going to add a couple of those. And I'm going to tuck them underneath here. Yes. And here. Let's see. Maybe bring it down a little bit and over. There we go. It's so funny, even though I've made this layout already, it's like it'll never come out the same as it did the first time I make it. That's just the golden rule. And with this glue, it's great because I can kind of push things around and move them around. Okay, so starting to look like the layout I made earlier this week. Haha. Okay, so it's taking shape. Things are getting layered in there. We're moving along. Also in the add-on kit, there's some like really pretty little white flowers that you get. Now I just used some other little white flowers. You know, you guys all need to write a letter to Frank and say, you know what, you really should have sent Jerry more flowers. No, I'm just kidding. No, but really you can if you want to. So I'm just going to grab these guys. These are called Pura Alexa. It's 581848, and I absolutely am in love with these flowers. They come with pearl centers, metal centers, all kinds of things. And just to bring out, remember we kind of worked with that gesso earlier. I think just kind of bringing out a little bit of that white into our design is it's going to kind of brighten it up a little bit. Make it look kind of more shabby chic, I think. But I like to sprinkle these guys everywhere. That's just, you know, a fun little thing to do with little tiny white flowers. I took that in here. Is everybody still with me? I hope you guys aren't like getting bored. All right, do a couple more up here. Maybe another one in here. So I can just kind of leave it like that for now, and then I can go back and add more of those little white ones if I want to. They just kind of pop. All right. Next, remember those little leaves I cut out? That little bit of green? So these I'm just going to tuck in around too. Just bring out more of that green. I think I may have to stand up. I think I may have to. Because now I can get down and dirty. Maybe one over here. And some up here. See, it's just really coming together. Okay. All right. Maybe move this one here, move this one up here. I think I like that better. Okay. Let's try to. You guys see that? See where I've added my leaves and some of my flowers. And then we'll move it down this way. See? So I really just wanted to pull out the colors in that background. That's really what I'm doing. And adding the interesting teal, darker teal is going to do that. Okay, next we have, I know I added all kinds of fun stuff to this. So next we have, also in the kit, are the Seashore flare buttons. And with our flare buttons at one time we had a fun little stamp image. So you could actually stamp an image onto a piece of paper, cut it out like a flower, and then use the flare buttons as the centers of the stamped flower. So that's kind of a nice, neat little extra thing. And then the stamp you still have, you know, for a while, long after the flare buttons are gone. I'm going to add a little glue and start adding these guys around. There we go. That's kind of fun. That's a little seahorse. And then even if you didn't want to add them to like the center of a flower, you could still go in and, you know what, maybe I'll move this little white flower and I'll tuck that flare button in underneath my flower here. Computer keeps wanting to go to sleep. Put that one just down there, and then I can do, let's see, here's another one with the anchor, and the anchor can kind of go up here. I have him peeking out a little bit. And this little blue guy, stick in the middle of this flower here. Now it's a little too, maybe I'll stick this guy up here. There we go. See? Fun. Now, also, stuff in this kit just never ends. Okay, so then you also have these cool paper clips from the Seashore collection. And they come with little words and images and stuff on them. And this number is 573089. And what I actually decided to do with some of these is just kind of bend that right like this to try to remove the paper clip part. If it's too difficult, just steal some pliers from the toolbox and just keep bending until it just gives. Just twist it right off. So, oh, hello guys. Didn't want to come off, so I'm going to bend him backwards. There we go. So I'm left with just that fun little embellishment. So I can add that down here to the center of this flower if I want to. So if you didn't want to use it as a paper clip, you don't have to. You can rip it apart like Cari does and just make it a fun embellishment and little added extra in your fun little flower cluster. Now this one I could probably leave on and just tuck right into the flowers, you know, and just kind of use it as is. So maybe I could use it like right there. That would be cute. So I'll go ahead and put glue on the back of this and then just slide it right in there. Okay. All right, so that is looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. And next we have to do a little bit of, oh wait, I want to add, remember those little sprigs that we punched out? Yeah, I want to add those around too. And those I'm going to add actually just here and there. I'm not going to add a lot of these. I just kind of want to add a couple to like around, like in the center, like around the flowers. It just adds a little bit. I'll show it up close in just a second. It looks pretty cool. You know, I never think to use the punched little images like this within as a different part of the flower cluster, but it's kind of fun. You know, gives you all kinds of ideas. So maybe we could put that one there. And then put this one right here. Oops. This is where like the glue is all over my fingers and looking really sticky. So you see those? Can you see them? And there's some down there. See where they just kind of sparkle and they look like sea coral. All right, now I can also tuck in some other leaves, some more leaves if I choose to, just to enhance the leaves I have, which I don't really think I need to right now, but you guys kind of get the gist of what I'm doing here with the clustering. All right, I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way. And I'm going to get that white gesso back out. But first, there's metal clips in here. So these are like paper thin. So if you like to do cards or planners or anything like that, we've got these fun little clips. And what I decided to do, so you can remove it, see where it would just slide right into something. Again, taking my handy dandy clippers here. Let's see if I can bend it. Clip that off. So if I didn't want to use it as a clip, I don't have to. Probably use your Tim Holtz scissors for this, if you dare. Let's see if I can. It worked earlier. I think I'm just trying to go too fast. No, it didn't work. Oh, I cut my F. Well, anyway, I swear it worked earlier. Let's see if it'll work on my little anchor. Maybe. Maybe using it as a clip isn't such a bad idea. Okay. Ah, there we go. So just take the metal off, so then you're just left with that little metal piece. And you can take some white gesso again and just dab a little bit of that gesso right onto your fun little metal. Yeah, this is a lot of work right now for this little thing, but I did it on my original one, so I wanted to show you. And then I just kind of tucked that little guy like right in there. So it was just a matter of adding kind of fun stuff within your layout. I'll show you on the original layout where I added that word fun. See it? It's in there. And then up here I just added a little starfish. Can you see that? So that's what I did. Now I'm also going to take, oh my gosh, it's like a catastrophe around here. Oh, the titanium scissors. Yeah, I'm sure those look great. Now I'm also going to take a little bit of that gesso once again and get it all nice and watery. Okay, and this is where I'm just going to go through and just add a little bit of that whitewash kind of gesso look. And if you don't like it on something, you can just wipe it off. But see how I'm just kind of lightly dabbing it around. So I kind of want these, I want everything to look kind of shabby. Okay, and that's how I got that look. So I'm just kind of mucking it up a little bit. Oh, got that little guy in there. And just kind of putting that white gesso on, and just like you know, you're frosting your flowers. Just like so. So that's how I kind of got that whole shabby look. See how it just toned everything right down and brought it just like into that kind of seaside, old, like worn whitewash look, which I think is kind of a fun thing. Okay. So that really toned it down quite a bit. Now see how everything just kind of is starting to blend now, just by that little bit. And you can easily go along the edges of the paper too, and just kind of dry brush a little bit, going along. Yeah, you can wipe it off if you got too much on one of your embellishments. Yep. And just kind of get everything looking shabby. Okay. And I think like pretty much the last step to show you guys is I took some, oh no, it's not the last step, but I took some wire thread and I used the green. I don't know if the green's showing up too well on here, but it's this, it's item number 572013, and it's wire that's just got thread on it, right? And this is the sagey green color. So I wrapped it in a few different circles. And then what I did is I just kind of tucked it around the papers. Okay, tucked it in the corners and everything like that. And it's kind of messy on here, right? It's not really neat or perfect by any means. I actually want to gather it up just a little bit more. I actually probably went a little overboard on my wire. I know. The circles are just too big. That's okay. I kind of did these ahead of time so that it would be ready, but do you see how I just kind of added them? So I get them placed right where I want them, and then I just take my glue bottle, wherever that may be. I seriously don't know where my glue went. Oh, here it is. It's behind my water. And then I'm going to just lift up the edge of that paper and just stick a glob of glue under there and get that kind of secure in the corners. And you can kind of keep going around and doing that. And that's another reason why I like the paper to be able to like flip up a little bit. So the corners and underneath the paper kind of secure that and hide it at the same time. Very tricky. And then if I go to put my picture on, it's going to secure it even more. So you see where that just adds another little circle to like our kind of like our circle theme going on like around our layout. All right. Going to wipe off this gesso, and then the last, I promise it is the last step, I actually added some of the microbeads. These are the copper microbeads, and they are 962579, and I used some of the 3D gloss gel Okay, the 3D gloss gel I like because it's a thicker gel. It does dry in 3D and it's like super like pasty, but it grabs a hold of some of the items that are like more dimensional that we want to add, right? So what I did is I just took a paintbrush and I put like just kind of globs, you know, and I'm gonna be honest, the micro beads are just gonna go everywhere, okay? They're just gonna go, they're gonna be happy and they're gonna bounce all over. So what I like to do, instead of pouring them on, I'll grab like a pinch and I'll just put them like kind of sprinkle them over the areas where I have just applied the 3D gloss gel. All right, so it's pretty, and you can even go as far as adding it, you know, to the flower centers and everything like that. So this isn't quite dry yet, so I'm going to show you my original layout where I added them so you can see. Okay, so do you see them right here? Let's see if I can get up close. See how that just looks like a little bit of texture right in there? Up in there. So I only put it where I added the glue, and it just kind of adds like another little bit of shimmer and shine. And then you can see I added it to the bottom, like right in here, right up in there. And then I even added just a little sprinkling within the flower here and up here. Okay. So again, it's around the design areas. Okay. And let me think. I think that's it. Then you can add your title, which I added right up the side. Just stuck it right under that paper. Added my photo, added a little more gesso around my photo, and that was it. All right. And you can see this one we just worked on, which looks pretty cool. You know, some of the colors still kind of stark. I might go in and add a little more gesso, but that is really it. Okay, and you can sit and play with this for hours and just have a ball. So I'm gonna just take up, oh, some fill. All right, so I'll put this back so you guys can see it again. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. And like I said, I used, you know, some really fun techniques and things on here, but you know, you can customize it however you guys want to. Do whatever you need to do to make it yours. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you guys came and hung out with me tonight. It was fun. And like I said, you can go get your kit at livewithprima.net. You can get the regular kit or the add-on kit. And I really think that a lot of the stuff in the kit is just perfect for, you know, not just summertime or seaside things, but there's a lot of generic items in here that you could really apply to just about anything, just like I did, you know. So I think that's it. Haha. Thank you so much, everyone, for your wonderful compliments. You know, for those of you that are out there watching the recorded version of this, we do have a live chat that takes place. So I'm not just talking to myself. I'm actually talking to an audience of people that are watching and talking as I'm doing the show live. I sometimes feel like when I'm watching, people may not even realize that that's the case when we post it on YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel that we post all of these classes plus quick tip videos and anything else that we can, you know, help you guys learn how to use. So again, next Tuesday is Fran Westmoreland from the UK. And you can go to prima.typepad.com to see what she's going to make. It's really stinking cute. And I really appreciate you guys coming. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you learned a couple things and, you know, that you decide to dig in and just have some fun. All right. Have a great night.